Hey everyone, so for today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up the Hygger mini wave maker. So let's dive right into the video. Alright guys, so this is the Hygger wave maker that I got off of Amazon. One super cool thing about this pump is it actually has a magnet to attach it to the glass instead of a suction cup like most wave pumps. So let's go ahead and open it up. So the first thing is the instruction manual, then the control panel. It's got a few buttons right here for different settings, some accessories if you want to attach the control panel to the wall, the power cable, and the actual pump. So there actually wasn't too much stuff to unbox, so let's go ahead and put it in the tank. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in over here where the old power head was. So if you guys don't remember, I used to have an old Sun power head in here that had a suction cup to attach it to the glass. It was pretty old, it was around 3 years old, and I think I only bought it for around $10, so it was pretty cheap, and it lasted way longer than I expected. And it broke just as this one arrived in the mail, so it was perfect timing. And I'm just going to use the magnet to attach to the glass. See, I'm moving it right here with the magnet. I think I'm just going to put it right here. So here's the actual controller to the power head. It's got a nice LED display and some buttons to control it. The buttons are a little bit confusing, so I'm going to try and summarize what each button does super quickly. I don't really want to go too in depth. So what the S button does is it switches from the settings that you have on the power head to what time it is. It just switches back and forth, super simple. And you can set the time by clicking the M. The M button goes through each number so you can change it, and it just goes all throughout so you can change the time and use the plus button to adjust it. And then once you have the time set to the correct time, you can move back to the setting mode. And essentially each number does a different setting for the power head. The 3 is what time of day it is, such as sunrise, sunset, so you can switch through different settings throughout the entire day. The next one is the power, the type of wave, and then the frequency. And you can change each number with the M button, do the plus or minus, and it automatically sets after you're done. So we use these 3 buttons, so you're probably wondering what the F button does. This one's super simple. This just puts it on feed mode. So if you click it, it sets a timer for 10 minutes where the power head is off so you can feed your fish or coral. And then if you want to turn it back on, all you got to do is press it again. So I'm going to go ahead and actually hook this up to the power head. It wasn't actually hooked up, so I'm going to do that right now. So I just got everything hooked up to the pump and it's running perfectly fine. And I was going to show you guys the different types of settings and what they look like in the tank, but I tried to do that and you can't really tell the difference between settings. So you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it and know that there are different settings, they do different things, and it's actually super cool. One thing that I'd like to mention about this pump is how quiet it is. I can't hear it at all. The other pump that I had in the tank made a low hum noise, so the creators of this pump did a super good job making it super quiet. Another thing that I really love about this pump is that you can control it. The old pump that I had, you couldn't control at all, so it was just a constant stream of water, and it was honestly a little bit too much for this tank, so I just like how I can dial back the flow. And it's honestly the perfect amount of flow to this tank. There's a little bit more flow on this side, and over here I have a feather duster worm which doesn't like too much flow, and it's just perfect for him. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the wave pump. So to make this video a little bit longer, I'll give you guys a little update on the tank. So I got some bad news and some good news for this tank, and I'll just start off with the bad news. We lost some coral. So if you remember the Xenia that I had in this tank, I had it right here. It used to look super good and it was growing super well. Around a month ago, it kind of just started to die back. And I did some research on this, and Xenia tends to do this. It tends to do super well and then just die back for no reason. People really don't know why it does that. There's a little rock that it used to be on. So the fire and isoanthids decided to do what the Xenia did and just kind of close up and slowly dissolve in the tank. And eventually I just took them out and threw them away because I knew that they weren't coming back. Those were the 2 bad things that happened to the tank, but everything else has been going pretty smooth. I actually added a feather duster worm, and usually you're supposed to add these in the substrate or the sand, but when I first got it, I just decided to put it here. When I tried to move it about a week later, I realized that it was attached to the rock, so it just kind of stuck here. So I'm just gonna see what happens if you don't put it in the sand, I guess. And like I said, all of the corals have been doing super well. These mushroom corals right here have been growing super well. I have a total of 5 now, and I only started with 1. The green star polyps have grown onto the rock and are propagating super fast. I added a few shells to the bottom of the tank just to make it look a little bit better and fill in the space. The fish have been doing super good, and so has Bob the sea urchin. So I actually had a comment in one of my older videos saying that I should name my other clownfish Jaws. He was named Zed, but I really like Jaws a lot more, so I'm gonna go ahead and rename him Jaws. So shout out to Killer Whale 65 for commenting that awesome name Jaws, so thank you for that. So overall, the corals have been growing a lot, and the tank has just been doing super well. That's gonna do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Barry's Aquarium, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Hey guys, it's Barry.